All right, so good morning, everyone. I'm Gina Sudam. Welcome to our Restart, Rebound, Rebuild series with the Wyoming County Chamber of Commerce. This morning, I want to share with you, this is our Follow-Up Friday. So I sent an email out earlier this week regarding some changes to PPP and EIDL, and I just want to share those changes with you and what's happening with some other funding sources. So if you'll excuse me, I'm looking at my other monitor here so I can be sure to keep track of what I'm doing. Maybe it will be best if I see. Okay, so first and foremost, the SBA has reopened the EIDL lending. It was reopened for a while just for agriculture, but now it's reopened for all businesses. That EIDL funding is very important for small businesses right now. It's a great rate. It's 3.75, a 30-year loan. The first year is payment free, but it is accruing interest. There is no prepayment penalty on that monies. And what I'm hearing is businesses are getting offered maybe even a lot more than what they need, and then they can kind of decide how much they need to take down from that loan. So that is a great opportunity. That also still has the emergency grant attached with it. So it's $1,000 per employee up to $10,000 that is attached to the EIDL, and they're calling that an advance, the EIDL emergency advance. Again, that's a grant, so that is not payable back. I'm going to roll into the PPP changes. Those PPP changes are just a couple quick things. They did the Congress approved and the President signed a Paycheck Protection Flexibility Act. It extended the time that the PPP funding can be used from 8 weeks to 24 weeks. It lowered the amount of funding that you need to spend on payroll from 75% to 60% on payroll. And it also extended the time that extended the deadline, I'm sorry, to restore your full-time employees and your payroll from June 30th to the end of this year, December 31st. So that was very helpful. Also, if you did not apply for a PPP loan yet, but now you're thinking maybe this is a good opportunity for me, you can still apply, and it has set the repayment terms for any loans made after June 4th. It has set those repayment terms to 5 years. So it used to be a 2-year repayment, now it's a 5-year repayment. So they have made PPP more attractive to businesses, in my opinion, and given them, again, as the Act says, a little more flexibility with how to spend that money and the timing that you need to spend that money. These changes can all be found on our website, and what I'll do is I'll post a link to the summary of this email so you can all see this information if you have not. Another grant opportunity available right now is the PA 30-day fund. This is a private investment fund started by some gentlemen in Philadelphia and then Pittsburgh. And what they did was they put money into a fund, have asked businesses to apply for this money, and it's businesses with employees of 3 to 30 employees. When you go to the site, it says that it's a loan, but then when you read the true description when you're applying, it says, I'm interested in paying it forward. So when you click that button, they say you can pay back your PA 30-day fund. They won't, they won't hold you to repayment terms. It's just kind of a good faith check in that someday down the road, I would like to repay this money so that this fund can continue in case of other emergencies in Pennsylvania where these funds might be needed. So I'm hearing from people who have applied for that. It's a very fast turnaround. They apply, they hear within the week, and they have the money within 3 days. So again, that's the pa30dayfund.com. I wanted to share with you that the Wyoming County Chamber has signed on with many other chambers from across the state to onto a letter that was written by the PA Chamber of Business and Industry. This letter is to advocate for liability protection for our businesses. So right now, if someone walks into your place of business and a few days later they come down with COVID, they can come back and sue you. And we all know that frivolous lawsuits happen. And it's a big risk for our small businesses right now who are already suffering to think about paying such things as the lawyer fees and everything that they would need to fight this. So most of the time, what businesses would try to do is try to settle something like this, and that could be devastating to businesses that are already at risk right now and already losing revenue. So we have signed on to that letter. That full letter is available. If you'd like to see that, I can certainly post a copy of that letter. If you are still in need of financial support, we know the governor announced $225 million in state funding. This funding is going to come through what are called CDFIs. I'm not exactly sure what that stands for, but Metro Action is our local CDFI that is accredited in handling this money. If you go to their website, which I believe is metroaction.org, you can, a form pops up and it tells you a little bit more about the grants available. And basically what it says is the application is not ready yet, but if you complete this information, the Metro Action, which is an arm of the Scranton Chamber, will be in touch with you when they have an application process ready to go, and you can apply through them. Again, there were, I think, 12 accredited CDFIs throughout the state. So that CDFI Metro Action covers most of the Northeast region as we know it, and then Luzerne County, obviously Lackawanna County as well. We also have locally, through some CARES money that came down to the counties, and I know we have our county commissioner on this morning, Commissioner Wilbur, but we have some county funding that what I would like to do is try to keep track of some businesses who are still in need. So if you email me, I will get that information to the people who are handling that money. Rick, you can go ahead and unmute yourself with so few of us on the call. I don't know. Oh, there you go. I was gonna say it's not letting me do it for you. We should be able to hear you now. Are you there? Maybe your mic is not on. I don't hear you. You could type into the chat if you have something you'd like to add, and I can read it to the folks. So down at the bottom of your screen, there's a little chat window. I don't know why your sound's not working. So again, back to, there is some county funding. It's available through Tree Hub right now, and I'm working with Dennis Phelps to look at who may be eligible for that funding. There are some guidelines around that because it is CDBG funding. So there are some guidelines around how the county can spend that funding. It has to be spent low to moderate income employees and so on. So I'd be happy to discuss it with you in more detail. The next few things I want to talk about are just some updates from what's happening at the chamber, right? So we've all had to adjust to this new normal and our new lives. And for the chamber, we have been the convener of people for so long. Getting people together is kind of what we're known for, our events and having great events. Unfortunately, with all the changes, we haven't been able to do that. We've been doing a lot of online things like this, which have been great and have been very well attended. We were looking at our attendance, and overall, our attendance on these is still averaging about 35 people per session. So today was, I think, again, a chance of the good weather, right? But I want to talk to you about LeaderCast. So LeaderCast is a national organization. They bring in top speakers like Andy Stanley. This year they had Magic Johnson was one of their highlights, and probably most famous person they had on stage, if you will. So LeaderCast had picked the topic of positive disruption, and they picked this topic long before COVID hit. And they started advertising, and we were all set to go and hold our event. May 12th, I think, was the original, May 7th was the original LeaderCast Live event that we would have held at Keystone College. So obviously put a big wrench in all of our plans. And we were going to hold off and maybe do something later on this year. But the speakers and their topics and their content is so relevant to what's happening right now for all of us that we didn't want to hold back. So what the chamber has decided to do is we will hold the event, LeaderCast, in two parts, 2 half-day events under the pavilion at Shadowbrook. And we will hold two events under the pavilion at Shadowbrook, half-day events. So we'll serve beverages, and you'll get a snack box if you attend, but we will not be serving lunch. So we'll be done before lunch. You can leave and have lunch on your own. The other option is, if you're still not comfortable gathering, we will provide you with a virtual link to watch LeaderCast. So all of that information can be found on our website. And again, the dates for that are July 16th and 23rd. I'm looking at my calendar behind me to make sure I had the right dates. July 16th and 23rd, 2 half-day events on Thursdays. Again, you can join us in person at Shadowbrook under the pavilion, or you can, when you register, you can check the box and say, please send me the link. We'll send you a link right to your email. You'll have access to those speakers for a limited time. I believe it's 36 hours, somewhere around there. And you'll watch the videos, and we'll have some platform. We're not quite sure what that'll look like, but we'll have some platform for discussion about that, whether it be through Facebook or through LinkedIn, where we're just sharing what we have seen with LeaderCast and tips and highlights. Also, Leadership Wyoming. So Leadership Wyoming is a 9-month leadership program, much like Leadership Lackawanna and Leadership Wilkes-Barre, that the chamber started. This is the 5th annual class that will start this year. And so what we decided is that we're going to move forward. We looked at our schedule and talked to most of our hosts, and most of them feel that they can safely social distance and still do tours of their facilities as needed. And I really just think it's going to be a great year to bring people together and discuss what has happened and get some different perspectives. As you know, we've graduated approximately 15, give or take 3 or 4 every year. And I think that the um, with those 10 or 15 people, they come from very diverse backgrounds. Some are from very large manufacturers, some are sole proprietors. So it's a unique perspective when they all come together anyway. I think it'll be a great perspective to see how COVID has affected that diverse population. And then, so we are, for Leadership Wyoming, we are accepting applications now, and that can be found on our website. We'll get more information about that out in a standalone email, but that information can be found on the Chamber website. And then finally, Play Hard, Shop Small. This is a community rally. Allison actually started this idea, getting our local youth involved in an initiative to show their support for our small businesses that have continued to sponsor their baseball teams and give back to them and give them product when they need things for their auctions and raffles and so on. So what we're doing is we're selling t-shirts, and we've come up with an event that we're going to hold at Lazy Brook Park, where 4 top athletes at Tunkhannock, two females and 2 male students, will put on a little exercise demonstration for anyone who would like to come out. We will safely social distance. As you know, Lazy Brook has a very big field, so we will safely social distance those that want to come out and participate. If you just want to buy a t-shirt, you can do that right online. If you want to make a donation to the fund, you can also do that right online. Allison has been posting those links to our Facebook page. It was also in our newsletter that was sent out yesterday. So again, that's a great way to show support of our local small businesses who are still trying to recover from this. Rick did, Commissioner Wilbur did share some information, so let me just read that. He says, we as the county are rolling out several assistance programs on Tuesday at our meeting, and he'll call me to discuss, and then I'll speak with him. So again, I will share more information. It sounds like they're getting ready to share more information about that next week. So once I have more information about that, we will share the information with all of you, but I think that'll be a great program from the little bit I've heard from them so far on that. So now I'd like to open it up to questions, comments, and any other concerns that you all have, things that you're hearing in whether it be your industry. I know we have Keith Yurgoski from the Small Business Development Center, so I'm always interested to hear what he's hearing from his other small businesses. So maybe Keith, do you want to take this time to share kind of what you're seeing now that we're starting to restart our businesses, and most of us are in our region now in the green or at least the yellow phase?
You kind of covered what we've been doing this week, was just trying to get out all that information to as many of our clients as we could about those different, the idle opening back up. I have people who are still receiving their idle now and saying, I don't know if I need it, or I don't really like the terms that come with the rest of the loan. So trying to get them to understand that and the uses of that. Also, people are still accepting the payroll protection loans. Most banks are still accepting those. But the information that you mentioned about the CDFI program that's going to be unveiled soon to the local counties, and we cover 8 counties, so it's trying to understand all the different components of each of them and who they should go to. So it's been answering a lot of questions. The PA 30 fund, as well as, and then there's the CARES Act money has been trickling into the counties, and then each of them have their own little programs that are coming out. So just trying to remember all that and get it to like you said, the businesses that are still contacting you that are having problems. You want to make sure that they're the ones that get first in line, and try to save as many as we can.
Very good. Yeah, I think this the PA 30-day fund again has grants. I think they range from 1,000 to 3,000, and it's been a very quick turnaround. So if you're in need of cash flow, that's a great opportunity to get in there quickly and get some cash flow.
I had a client contact me yesterday that he was denied by them, so I don't know what their terms are that they're denying businesses, but
So from what I hear, and I spoke to the founder of the fund on a PA chamber call, and what they said is they're looking for businesses who maybe have not received a lot of other funding. I don't know if that particular business did, but they're kind of looking for people who have not received a lot of other funding or haven't received that other funding yet, right? So it was kind of the 30 days was kind of to hold them 30 days until they received the funds that they may have been applying to. So that's my understanding. I don't really know. I do know one other business that got denied, not locally in the western part of the state, but she had also received an EIDL grant. So I think that was part of why she got denied the PA 30-day. It's a very quick application process. You do have to record a video. If you need any help with that, Allison's our resident expert in recording videos. It's a real quick video though. It's no longer than a minute. I think it's like a minute 30 video that they request. And really what they're looking for is not so much that your business needs money. It's more how your business contributes to the community as a whole. So don't take your video, take the time in that video and tell them about the hardships, because everyone is having hardships right now. Tell them the story of your business and how important it is for your business to survive because your community needs you. So that would be my my message in the PA 30-day fund video.
I know there's a minimum of, you have to have at least 3 employees for the PA 30 fund, and it just seems to me that every program that's coming out is kind of like leaving the solo entrepreneur in the dust.
Yeah.
There's nothing for them, and that's the tough one.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and I'll speak to the commissioner, but I'm hoping that the funds that they have don't do that. I know the CDBG does have requirement, the community development block grants that are handled through Tree Hub right now. They do have requirement for employees to be low to moderate income. So you do need to have some employees, but I'm hoping that we can find some other funding for these sole proprietors, because as you said, Keith, they're the tough ones that are going to fall.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are going to fall. Anything else this morning that we're hearing or that I didn't cover that you're hoping I cover? Topics that you are interested in the chamber covering. So we have access to many different businesses, many different organizations. We had the superintendent of our school district on Wednesday. We're looking at perhaps getting the president of Keystone College on for one of our calls, just to share with us what higher ed changes might look like in the fall. But I'd be interested, I mean, really this series is for you. What we're building, what we've created here, we're trying to do it with you in mind, our small businesses and our large businesses and anybody who really needs us, but we're trying to give you a good product. And as we move through this, as Keith said, we talk about PPP and EIDL all day long. So some of this becomes redundant to us, but if you need to hear more about those things, you need to tell us. If you need to hear about other topics that we haven't touched on, please reach out. There may be things that you're finding that we don't know about, and I'd love to hear about those. So please let us know. You can either unmute yourselves and talk now, again, because we do have a small group, or you can email me, which is just Gina, Gina, at wyccc.com. At this point, though, we are at the half-hour mark, and I do try to keep respectful of your time, and being that it is a sunshiny and beautiful Friday afternoon. I talked to my chamber colleagues across the country just yesterday, and some of them said, I'm taking Fridays off for the rest of my life because I have worked so hard the last 4 months that I'm tired, so I'm taking every Friday off. And I said, you let me know how that works out for you.
I know that's been a problem we've discussed at our office, is that nobody's used vacation time. So now when you go back, it's like, and the university announced that we're going back like August 17th. So like you have basically this window to try to
squeeze everybody's vacation time
and
in.
you can't take it all because there's just so many people contacting us.
Yeah, well, I was lucky. I got my vacation time in 2 weeks before Disney closed. I had my family in Disney, so I was very lucky that we were able to squeeze that in early in the year. And now I guess I have to stick it out the rest of the summer. But thank you all for joining us today, and I look forward to talking with you all again on Monday. And watch for our emails to register for that event. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone. Allison, you may need to end the recording. Oh, here.